Hey, welcome back everybody. Mark here from Home Slots, and today we got a little project on our hands. We need to get this top dollar ready to go and ready to sell. It is completely gutted. As you can see, I've completely taken everything out of here. Reels are gone, everything. So we need to put everything back in. I've got all the parts, everything ready to go. So I figured I'd go ahead and film it, and you guys can see kind of the process I go through to get a machine all ready. We're going to do some cleaning and vacuuming and stuff like that. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so the first thing we need to do is deal with these reel assemblies. The ones that were in here when I got this were really bad shape. Plastic was broken off. Some were missing the bulbs and everything. So what I did get is, and shout out to Jim, he did hook me up with a brand new assembly. These even have the light guards on it, which I have not seen in ages. So brand new bulbs, brand new motor, everything is going to go into this machine. But what we need to do is take the reel assembly off of this old one and move it to this one. And so I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. So this plastic reel here is held in by an O-ring. I think that's what these are called. That is right here in the middle. Let me get close so you guys can see it. And there are tools that will help remove that, but I have a little trick that I do. And that's I slide a flathead screwdriver in here, and I kind of wedge it in here and just start to lift it up like that. And I'm going to put it on the ground so I can do it better. But you just want to get under there and start to lift it up a little bit. Don't go aggressive with it because you don't want to bend it, because you need to put it back on the new assembly when you put that one together. But just kind of get it kind of wiggled out there. So there we go. So that's what you're left with. So stick that aside, and then this just lifts straight up, just like that. Okay, and now we have the new motor, and we're just going to put this straight down. And there is an alignment here, and you just need to rotate the wheel and push down until you have about 1/4 inch sticking up on the metal rod in the middle. That means it's in there. And then put that O-ring back on top and push it down, because that will keep the reel in place. So there we go, just like that. All right, and we'll put the reel strips on in a second. So I'm going to go do the other two real quick, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, so I was in the middle of putting the strips on these reels, and my wireless mic kept cutting out. So I don't know what's going on with that. So I'm going to switch to the phone mic for now. It probably doesn't sound as good, but you know, let's do that. So I've already put strips on 2 of the reels, and I'm going to put it on this final reel. And I did a lot of talking during that, so I'm going to talk again. That's what happens sometimes. Guys, I have been through entire videos before, and then I go back to play it, and the audio isn't there. And I got to do it all over again. This is why I don't film sometimes, because it's just like, oh, forget it. So anyway, to put these strips on, what you're looking for is a little notch that matches this notch here. And what I do is I stick it in one side and then move the reel like this until you feel it catch. So there it is. And then you kind of get it so you feel it go into that notch like that. And then do it on the other side here. And then I kind of use my fingernail to get it started. Getting started is the hard part. I get it up here a little bit, and then what I do is come back down here and make sure that they are still in the notch, because they'll fall out and then your strip will be off. So there we go. We're good there, like that. And now we just kind of go around, use your fingernail. Keeps falling out. Let's try it again. There we go. If it's really fighting me, I will put a piece of tape like right over here so it'll stay put. That's only if I get really frustrated. Which sometimes happens. And what I was saying about these reel strips is they're not too faded. Some symbols are faded. I would say they're probably about 7 out of 10. I've seen a lot worse, and I've seen a lot better. You can get reproduction strips from a company called Sunkist, but IGT bought them out, and so they're kind of hard to, expensive to get them now. they do most of the work for IGT exclusively, but I think they still sell stuff to the public. They are official to IGT now. But I do not like the reproduction strips on some of the games that they do, and Top Dollar and Pinball are two of the ones that I personally do not like. And I don't think this went in very well. I'm trying to see if, there we go. Oh, I see the issue here. You know what, I'm going to redo this one because I don't like how that went in. Alright, there we go. I think that'll be good. You just got to kind of make sure that they stay in that notch before you get too far, because then you got to do what I just did and redo it. For whatever reason, these IGT ones are so much worse than the BB2s and the BB1s. Those go on so easily. Same exact process, but I think the plastic rings around the actual wheel assemblies are just not as cheap as these plastic-wise. So they just go on better. So what we're going to do is put these in the machine now. And then I need to do some board work. So let's go ahead and do that. Sorry guys, more problems. Gosh, man, I hate filming sometimes. I got a phone call right in the middle of that and I forgot to put it on Do Not Disturb. So let's try this again. So we're going to put the reels in here now. Now these, since these are brand new, they're very stiff, I've noticed. So you really have to push them in. Over time, it'll get a little bit easier, because basically there's just a plastic clip here, and like I said, I'm not sure which is reel 2 and reel 3. We can test that out once we get it loaded. I'm going to take a guess here and say that this is 1, and then we'll say that this one's number 2. Make sure they're seated good. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the board, and let me get my chips here. All right. All right, so we are working with a 1270 enhanced board here, so it's a little bit different than the 500 series boards. But one thing that we definitely need to do that is missing from this board, we have the stepper base, which is the game chip, but we're missing the 2 game chips, and then also, no, we do have the version chip here, but I'm going to swap that version chip out, I think. No, I'm sorry, I read this wrong. This is the display chip. This is the version chip, and I do have one of those here, so no problems. Alright, we're going to use the GX0. I was looking at the number here, I'm like, that's not a GX0. It's not that. Alright, so let's get the game 1 chip in, and I remember, look for the cutout and match it with the cutout on the board. And since these are brand new chips, I'm going to have to bend the pins a little bit to get it in the socket like that. And I already bent a pin. See, I broke my rule here of not applying pressure until checking. So let me show you how to fix that. So you can see the bent pin there. So I'm just going to, and you only get a couple tries at this before it completely breaks off. So we're going to try that again, but be a little bit careful this time. And I'm going to put it in on that side first. Alright. everything is in a good spot there, so now I'll push down. Check it. Yep, we're good. Yep, sometimes I don't follow my own advice, guys. Alright, game 2. And big shout out to Ron, if you're out there. Ron is a huge collector of software. He has just about everything that I've ever needed. And he ships incredibly fast. He's very reasonable with what he charges. Just a super nice guy. So thanks for allowing us to do this, Ron. And it looks like I'm missing the audio sim. I do have that. I just need to go dig it up, but I'm actually going to do the clear process without that for now because it greatly speeds it up. So what I need to do now is remove the stepper base chip. And again, if you have a chip puller, use that. But I like this this long flathead here. And there is a mosquito flying around here. It's probably bitten me several times. Thanks a lot. All right, again, match your pins. We are doing the clear chip first. Okay. So let me go ahead and put this board in the machine. And today we're just focused on getting everything working, and then we will do a thorough cleaning. It's pretty dusty in here right now. All right, so we'll push the board in and give it some power. And we're gonna wait for 2 amber lights on the board. There's one. And there's the second. So power off, take the board out. And now we're going to put the key chip in. And I'm using a 224, IVC 224 for the clear, and a key 45. And that's the combo that I typically use for just about everything, honestly. The only time that has not worked is if you have an RB board. Those require a special chip that is different, and it's actually the key and clear process is the same chip. It's just once, which is kind of cool. Okay. All right, so key chip is in. And 2 amber lights again on power up. This one will be quick. Okay, turn it off. Pull it out. And I'm going to leave the camera right there. I'm just going to put the game chip back in, which is the stepper base chip. And we'll see if it goes through everything without the bill validator in there. This is a first for me, and I can't remember if I mentioned that in the video before it got cut off on the volume or on my mic. But I'm going to first run through setting this up without a bill validator or a ticket printer in here, because I'm curious to see if it will actually work on free play only. And that actually reminds me. Let me get. I'm going to get the ticket out module, and then also the sound sim, because we're going to need that in a second. So let me go look for those parts. I'll be right back. All right, I got a ticket out module here, and Yes, it's for ticket in, ticket out, but it also has a free play feature on it, which is cool. So that essentially means that we can have the service switch add credits directly to the machine. So you don't even need to deal with bills or tickets or anything. So for home use, that's actually what most people want. But I'm going to give the customer the option to choose what they would like to do. It's obviously cheaper if I don't have to put a bill validator and printer in here. All right, so let's power on. And let's go through the setup. I'm going to turn the flash off now and have the jackpot reset key ready. So we're going to turn it 1, 2, 3, and press the test switch for 2 to 3 seconds. That is, here I am skipping steps for you guys. This white switch here, we're going to hold in 1, 2, 3, and then close the main door. Okay, so we're getting something weird here. I should have had to turn it 4 times instead of 3. So I'm wondering if the clear did not take. I think that's the case, so we're going to go through that again. Unless the bill validator is part of that, I don't know yet. We will see. So let's go ahead and do the clear one more time. And then we'll move on to the troubleshooting. I have had that happen before. Oh, I don't have the version chip in here. Idiot. You guys are probably sitting there like yelling at me. Oh God, I can hear you, Rick James, for sure. I know you're yelling at me. Now the question is am I going to have to do another clear because I didn't have it in there? I don't think so, but we'll see. God, that was stupid. All right. Let's see what happens now. There we go. We got the 4 this time. I think we're going to be good. All right. 1, 2, 3. Close the door. Whoops. Didn't have the latch all the way down. Okay, this is the last step here. Then it will take us into the key chip config. And it looks like the bulb is burned out down here too, so we'll need to replace that. Alright, so let's go through the key chip config. Denomination on this one is $1. And we're going to go to game selection. We'll keep it on the highest payback percentage since it's for home use. So bonus. I'm going to go through this fast. I've done a lot of these before, so go back and look if you're really curious. We're going to keep printer disabled because there isn't one. Voucher redemption, SAS, voucher limit, false credit limit. We don't have a bill or a bill validator anyway, so that's not going to matter. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. I'm not too sure. looks like we have a real 2 tilt, and the way I fix that is to open the door and just kind of move the reel a little bit. And it's a new motor, so alright, so we're getting a closure B, which means the bill validator door. So what we're going to need to try to do here is disable the bill validator so it won't look for that. So let's go in here and press the test switch to get into the admin menu. There's some other stuff we got to do in here anyway, but let's go straight to that first. Let's disable bill validator and see if that goes away. No, it's still saying the door is open. Yeah. So it's still looking for the bill validator, even though it's disabled. You could probably jumper it to trick the door. It's a door sensor. Let me ignore the bill tilts, maybe that'll work. Reel 2 is not happy if it's pushed in all the way. Let's see. Yeah, so it's still seeing the door open in B, so I guess that means you need to have a bill validator. If anybody watching this knows if that's not required, let me know, because I'm definitely interested. So we'll move on to the next part of this video, and that is getting the bill validator and ticket printer installed. So down here. So we'll work on that next. Alright, hang tight for a moment, guys. Just wanted to show you that I was able to get it bypassed so that you can play it without a bill validator in it. So as you can see, my double triple diamond deluxe with cheese playing just fine. And all you need to do is get the light on. Look for this set of wires here, a blue and a green, which is what leads to the latch on the catch box door, and just splice them and twist them together. Now, do not leave it like this. Put some electrical tape or a cap on it. Do not leave it like that. I'm just showing you as an example of what actually worked. The reason is because that's just asking for a short, so don't do that. I'm just you guys, I got to tell you like 50 times, because somebody will do it and say, oh, the way you told me to do it. You know, if you need to bypass the door or the cash door or cash box latch, that's how you do it. And then you can play without a bill validator. You just have to make sure you disable the bill validator in the settings, and then it will work. But anyway, back to the top dollar, where we are going to go ahead and install the bill validator in that, and let's get started. Alright guys, let's get started on installing the bill validator harness right here. And yes, I know this machine is very dirty. I always like to vacuum it out and clean it out at the end, unless I can't get to the parts or the area, because it's going to make even a bigger mess once I start putting everything in here. So I kind of like to save that till the end. Anyway, before we put this in here, this is the latch on the actual door itself, as you can see here, which detects when this cash box door is closed. That is what I just showed you guys that I bypassed on my double diamond deluxe with cheese. I'm not going to bypass it here, but since there's already cabling inside of here that's cut, I'm just going to splice it together with this one, and we will do it proper with electrical tape and everything, so that there's no issues. And we'll then install this inside of here. This is a pain in the butt to get in and out, and you know what, this thing is really dirty, so I'm going to clean this before we get started, because I just now noticed this thing is ugly. Look at all that dirt, dust, and we are not going to ship a machine out like that for sure. So let me go get this cleaned, and I will be right back. All right, just like that, we are all nice and clean, all the dust and everything, and it's looking good. All right, so what I'm going to do is cut these wires. I don't need this length, so I'm going to cut it about right here. Let's do it about right there. Okay. And then we're going to oops, I didn't get a good hold of it that time. Let's try it again. Okay. And then just, you know what? I'm just going to bypass this completely from the door. Do I want to do that? I don't think this will ever end up in a casino. They would not want it that way. But you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do my original plan and just join them together in case they do want to use the switch. If it was my own machine, I'd probably do it, but we'll do it proper here. All right. All right, so we'll do blue to blue. Just twist them, get them nice and sharp there, and pair them together. Twist it. Make sure it's good and tight there, and then get your electrical tape, or if you have any of those wire caps, you can use those too. Nice and tight. And yes, guys, I'm sure there are 10 different ways to accomplish the same task. I'm sure you're letting me know in the comments. I'm totally fine with that. You know, I was self-taught. I am always interested to learn more. So if you guys have better ways of handling this or something that is better to do, just feel free to tell me. I will not be offended at all. Like I said, I'm just self-taught and I know what works and what doesn't just from experience. It's kind of how I approach everything in life. And okay, and then I'm going to, now that those are wrapped, I'm going to wrap another piece around both of them, just to keep it kind of tidy. Oh shit. Oh, sorry for my language. I might have bleeped that out. Oh man. So I got to do that again because I'm supposed to run it through this hole here. Oh Jesus. Oh boy. Silly Mark. It happens. Not a problem. I could probably get away with it not doing that, but I want to run it through that hole just in case I don't want it to get wedged on the side here and start to, you know, fray off over time or something. We don't want that. Just getting this one unwrapped here. Okay. All right, let's try that again. show you what I'm talking about. Sorry the camera wasn't low there, but it goes through this hole here like that. And now let's try that again. Blue to blue. And yes, my dog has been something else today, I gotta tell you. She's barking and barking and barking. So if anybody wants a dachshund, let me know. And those of you that own dachshunds know exactly what I'm talking about. When those dogs start to bark, it is just non-stop. Maybe she'll sleep good tonight. That's always a good thing. And if there's a customer watching that ends up buying this, if you want me to completely bypass the latch on the door so that you never have to worry about the door being closed all the way, just let me know and I'll redo this. It's not a problem. Casinos probably want that one in there. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's no use. And all it does is just let you know that the door to the cash box is completely closed all the way. That's all it really is. But casinos put locks on it anyway, so it's pretty much guaranteed to be closed. Alright, so that's in there. Let me move the camera up. Now, in the past I've had to actually remove the reel shelf to get this in here. But I'm going to try to squeeze it in without having to do that. This one goes in a lot easier than it was taking it out. Just trying to get these lined up over here. It's close. Just trying to get it in without having to take this reel shelf off. Yeah. I've been able to do it before, but it's not easy. Try it this way. There we go. Got it. Alright. We're good. And then there are just nuts here that go in here. I'm trying to start with my hand, although it's very. Let me. It's a little easier. I'm just going to get them all started, and then we'll use the socket wrench to tighten them all up. And just so you guys can see, so there are 3, 1, 2, 3, and then there's 2 way underneath here that are hard to get to. Probably overkill, but we'll put them in. That's the thing I've noticed with slot machines, is that they kind of go overkill with the number of screws and bolts and stuff that they put everywhere. I guess they were just worried of people breaking in. So sure they had their reasons. Okay, let's get the socket wrench out and let's tighten these down. And I'm actually going to put this screw up here in, because that will hold it in place too. Let's go ahead and take care of this thing. All right. All right, let me tighten these other ones. Okay. I'm going to get these ones underneath here. I'm going to pause it for this because I'm going to have to lean down anyway. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I got those all in. So the next part is to put, where did it go? I thought I brought it over here. Yeah, this is it here. All right, so this is the housing. Well, this thing is dirty too. Where is my towel? I'll just use my finger to get this one cleaned. This one just had a little bit of dust bunnies in the bottom, so otherwise it's in pretty good shape here. All right, so we need to run these out the back here. There's a hole in the back. Just try to push everything through. And this I actually, well, you can put this out the back, but sometimes I put it out the side here. There's a side hole. It's a little bit easier to get access to it. But let me get them through here first, because it's a tight fit. I'll just put them out the back. All right, now for this thing, there are two screw holes back here that we need to put screws into to hold that in place, so I'm going to do that now. Whoops. And I'm not going to do the ticket printer for now. I just want to get this game working, because to enable a ticket printer we're going to have to do a clear again. That was the unfortunate thing with these S2000s, is that you can't just add a ticket printer anytime or change out the ticket printer. Well, I guess you could probably change it out, but I've had errors where it's a mismatch and stuff, so but it's, you know, after you've cleared and keyed as many times as I have, it's really not a problem at all. It's no thing to go through it. Casinos don't like to do it because it clears out all of the accounting records of the game, and you know, they like to keep that in there. So clears are only like last resort type stuff. Oh, this is being stubborn. this time. Just takes a little bit of patience. Okay, so I need to get the bill head and then also the cash box interface board. I have those over here. Alright. Be very careful with this thing. These things go bad so much. So often. Never mess with or get close to this with the machine powered on. They're so easy to short out. At least in my experience. We'll put the bill head in. Now we may have to do a clear anyway to enable this. I don't know. We're about to find out. And then let me put the cash box in. Okay. And let's power her on and see what happens. See if we're gonna have to do another clear or not. Oh, I forgot a step. You gotta hook it in. All I did was put the cables out the back. Halfway there. And there should be 3 that you need to plug into, and there's only one way they can go in, so that makes it a little easier. And there will be one of these left over. Don't worry about it. No, it's not that one, it's this one. Okay. So we got those 3 plugged in. Now we can power her on and see what happens. Well, it sees the bill validator, so that's good. Or at least it's getting power. But I have a feeling we're going to have to do a clear. Let me enable the bill validator again. Bill acceptor enabled, and let me well, it looks like we're in business here. It's ready for credits. Oh, I didn't finish the I'm skipping all these steps here, guys. Jesus. Alright. I need to finish setting up the machine settings. So credit limit will max out. Jackpot limit, we'll put it to traditional $11.99, which is $1,200 or higher. And also we need to do the bill limit set to $3,000, which is the most. And I need to put the sound sim in too, so we're gonna have to power back down for that. But let me finish this, and then we will do that. Just test and see. So I have it set on free play of 10,000 credits right now, and I'm going to change that. And I can change that on the board itself. And I'll show you that in a minute. I'm just trying to get through this part. That was 5,000, so I have one more setting to put it back to 1,000. It's always the last one you try. This should be 1,000 here. There we go. So we got 1,000 credits. So now I'm knowing that I did not put the right reels in, so we need to swap these two. So let's power down. Let's swap those two, and then we will also put in the sound sim. So let's go ahead and do that. Because that is not a pay line there. That is not a pay. Triple bar, 7 bar is not a pay. Like I said, it's always the last thing I try before it does it. Oh, these are so stiff. They're so new that... There we go. in there. All right, let's take the board out and put the sound sim in. And I think this is the right one for top dollar. We'll figure it out. This could be Money Mad Martians. I don't remember the number, but we'll know pretty quick once we boot it up and start playing. We'll have to go in and enable those sounds. Oh. Alright. Let's power her back on. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to bump the camera. I'm going to put the bottom tray back on too so we can get the subwoofer to work. You play top dollar for the sound, right? And we'll need to go into settings to enable the multimedia sound. Well, you know, we'll leave it on the traditional for now. Those are optional. And we'll just play till we get a bonus round here. There we go. Come on, top dollar. This will be one of those times it takes us forever to get the bonus. I always say my machines are camera shy. Look at that. Decent win there. Nope, I had the wrong one in there. That's why we're not having any sound up here. So I've got the wrong one in. Let's power her off and give me a moment. I will go find the correct one. All right, hang tight, guys. All right, I found it. It is 78 is the one that I need there. That's the one. All right. I knew I had an extra Money Mad Martians in there, so I was wondering if that was it. So, if anybody needs a sound sim for Money Mad Martians, I will get it to you. And again, all I did there is swap out the sound sim right here for the correct one. And, oops, forgot the subwoofer again. And I'm not sure if I like the little black plastic guards on the lights, because I think it segments it too much. I like having the light bleed around, but I'll leave it up to the customer whether they want those on there or not. They're easy to take off. Sorry, I know I got mad glare from my Lord of the Rings back there. And this should take us right into the bonus once it boots up. There we go.
Second offer. $30. Third offer. $40. Final offer. $35. Boy, you're a winner.
Alright, there we go. Let's do some sound adjustment here because this is pretty loud. And then I'm also going to turn it on the enhanced sounds because I think they sound great on Top Dollar. Turn down the track volume too. Alright, so we're going to do enhanced sounds. Alright, so did you guys notice that? That is a door sensor error. So I'm going to check that out real quick. And just make sure this is put in there. The door optics didn't come loose. Then also kind of wipe it off a little bit with my finger. It's known to happen. These optics are nasty. And actually I see this one is misaligned here on the door itself. And so that's probably what's causing the trouble. Let's see what I can do here. I might swap this one out because it's bent a little bit. It looks like the plastic melted or something. I do have these. Oh yeah, plastic just came right off. Look at that. So that could be it. So I will replace that before it goes out the door for sure. But all right, so let's take a look around real quick and just take a look at the machine. Top box is in great condition. It's very bright, as you can see, and this is the gold cabinet with the wood grain on the side. And yes, I know the fluorescent light is out down there. I'll actually put an LED in there, I think. And I just need to polish it up and make it look real clean there. But this is actually one of the cleanest and brightest Top Dollars I've had in a while, to be honest, especially with the gold trim. It's just very vibrant, in my opinion. It looks pretty good. Alright guys, well, I think that'll wrap it up for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And there are still a couple things I'm going to do, and I will probably film a part 2 to this, so you can kind of see how I get it completely ready for a customer. We'll put the ticket printer in there. We'll make sure that door optics is working and replaced, and we'll put the light bulb in the bottom glass also, and then I'll show you how I wrap it and prepare it for shipping. And then also how I create a little blank to put in these holes here, right here and right here, so that they can't reach in there and do stuff. So anyway, alright guys, hope you appreciate this little quick series. Beautiful Top Dollar machine. Yes, it is currently for sale. If you are interested, I do have a couple of people that are already telling me they're interested, but they have not decided for sure. So if you do want to get this, I would love to send it to you. Again, they are pricey, but I am the cheapest person that you can buy a Top Dollar machine from right now. That is fully working and also comes with a warranty where I will help you out with any issues that you have on your machine. I'm here to help. That's why I have the channel. And as people know, if you're out there and you bought a machine from me before, let people know that I really do take care of all of my customers. I try very hard to do that. And that's why I don't get a lot of machines in all at once, because I want to give that support to everybody without having to reduce that, you know, the number of hours I spend on that and that kind of thing. Alright guys, that'll wrap it up. Thanks so much for your time. I hope you appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up. And then also a subscription if you like this kind of stuff. I do slot repairs, slot restorations. I do a lot of slot play inside. I listen to my dogs bark, all kinds of stuff. All right, guys, thanks so much for your time, and we'll see you on the next video.